What do you like about this group? You got a lot of new guys, but you actually got a lot of old guys.
Yeah, I think it's a good mixture. There's a lot of depth. Some young, some old, some with a lot of snaps underneath their belt, some kind of ready to make their mark. There's guys that have a skill set of playing around the box, and they're a really good feel for the game of football, good blitzers. And then there's some guys in the back end that are rangy, can go attack the ball. And then there's some guys that are really good in the slot. So each guy is kind of unique, but it's the most depth we've had at this position in a really long time. So it's good.
I mean, how do you manage that? Is it simply passing downs this package? Like, how do you
Yeah,
straighten that all out?
it's interesting that you asked. We've talked a lot about it as a staff, and then even some openly as a group that we're playing more DBs than we have in the past, and what could that look like in the fall? I don't know. Maybe more guys are on the field and nickel personnel when we only have 3 of them on the field. Maybe we're in sub personnel packages and playing with 4 DBs more often than not. But we definitely want to utilize their skill set for sure. I mean, there's some guys that could probably stay on the field versus 12 personnel teams. And so those are some things that in the past we haven't been able to do. We've been penciled in being in this personnel or that personnel because of the versatility and some different guys that are kind of Swiss Army knives. It gives us the ability to be creative on defense.
How big was getting a guy like Devin Turner here to?
Really good, man. A guy that's played, over 1,000 snaps in his career. He's been a Big Ten All-Conference guy. He's made plays in big football games. He's been on winning teams. He's been through rough situations, so he's kind of experienced it all. But to get a guy like that's got leadership experience too. Very, very smart. I mean, graduated in 3 years. Really good communicator in the back end. So I think he's one I'm really excited about.
And then same with Tyler. You said you've been recruiting him since sophomore year of high school. Like,
Yeah.
What's your relationship with him? And
Yeah.
is it good to finally be on the same field with him?
Yeah. So Tyler, we recruited here at Baylor, offered him after his sophomore season. He once committed to Baylor, and then I went up to Oregon. I did not tamper, I promise. All right. And so he had decommitted at one point in time. I think was considering Oklahoma, and we signed him at Oregon, and got a chance to work with him. He graduated early, another smart dude, and came up there for bowl prep and practiced with us about 6-7 times before the Holiday Bowl. And I just loved him, loved his energy, loved his skill set. There's been multiple guys just within the group, not coaches, but like players, like, man, he's smooth in everything he does. Things are easy for him. He's still learning, it's a new defense for him. But at the end of the day, he's one that we're really excited about too.
How much better can Devyn Bobby be after his last
Yeah,
year?
I think a lot better. I think he ended the year probably playing his best ball that he's had since he's been here. I think bowl game was a solid performance, but Kansas, West Virginia were probably 2 of his better games last year. I think he had 2 picks versus Kansas or something like that. He was double-digit tackles in one of those other last 3 games. I think he can build off of that. There's parts of his game where he's focused on right now that he's trying to improve. There's probably some, I think his sophomore year, 23, I think he had over 75 tackles. Probably like missed tackle percentage was in single digits. Last year it was in double digits. So we've really kind of attacked some of that stuff. Pass scrimmage that we had, I mean, he had some really good open field tackles. He's really taken pride in hey, I'm in one-on-one situations, I'm getting guys down, and so that's really cool to see that he's attacking that part of his game.
Just the back end as a whole, how much better can they be? I mean, cornerbacks have to be better too. But
Yeah.
How much better can that group be as a whole?
I think they're already better than last year. How much more growth can they have? A lot. You look at just in the guys that rep the 1s and 2s today. There's about 4 new guys in there, so this is like their first 14 practices of being in this defense. And so I think reinstalling things in the summertime, getting to go through workouts in the summertime, then going to fall camp, reinstalling again. I think the way college football is set up right now and how much time we have with them, I think by the time we get to August camp, there should be a feel like, hey, these are second-year players almost. And so I think there's a lot of room for growth with them. It's a group that's really competitive. They're competitive within, the group, but they're competitive against the offense too. And so I think the sky's the limit for this group. I really do.
How is Carl doing health-wise? I saw him back here the last couple practices. And where does he fit in kind of the defensive back scheme of things?
Yeah, Carl's maybe one of the most, intentional guys of the group. Stays locked in, always focused. But he's also extremely versatile. He's a guy that's played corner for us here at Baylor. He's played nickel for us here at Baylor. He's played safety for us here at Baylor. And that's cool, that he's done all those things, but you want to kind of be a master, right, of something, not just be a jack of all trades. And so I think with the depth that we have now, we can kind of focus him in at one or two spots, and I think he'll take off. He was probably I know the day that Jalen Petrie and Terrell Bernard were here, I think that was practice one. I walked off the field that day. I said, "What'd y'all think?" I said, "Man, y'all look way better." Thanks. I said, "What'd you think about the secondary?" I said, "Man, who is 15? Is that the Williams kid?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Man, dude, he's freaking impressive." So that was kind of cool, and I didn't share that with him. I hope he doesn't listen to this because maybe his head will blow up. But at the end of the day, that just kind of tells you, where he was going this spring. Now, he had a slight knee deal, and they did a quick little, snip, and he was actually an individual today. He got a rack of 7-on-7. He's just in that mode these last two practices where we finally got him cleared to actually, do something with him. And so he's looked good. It's just he's non-contact right now. The way we practice, we thud everything. It's getting really competitive in the secondary between our receivers and us, and it doesn't make sense for us to throw him out there in those type of situations. But he'll be just fine. Yeah.
Do you feel like y'all have gotten done everything you need to?
Yeah.
14 going into 15 practices.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think Coach Aranda's done a really good job just with the progression of installation. I think there's been there was enough time early on, kind of evaluation. We've gone live more than we have any other spring here to kind of treat it as game-like as possible. And that's been able to kind of tell us, who's good at what, where we need to improve, what's our focal point moving forward. But all in all, yeah, it's been a great spring.
How has Micah Gifford looked in his transition from wide receiver to safety?
Yeah, I would say during bowl prep, I think the thing that was most impressive with him is how fast he could pick his stuff up. But he looked like a receiver playing safety. And I think what's really cool, I think the second week of spring ball, we were sitting there as a staff, and we said he might have had the best second week of all the secondary players. It was like a light bulb kind of hit, started clicking. Watch out. One of the biggest transitions, right, for a guy that played offense that's moving to defense is like, oh, man, tackling, block destruction, being tough. Well, the guy led us in special teams tackles last year with almost a dozen. And so, he can do that. It was just, eye progressions, eye transfers, having to be vocal now back there and make calls, tell people what to do, all that stuff where he was kind of a little robotic. But I'm telling you, man, he's one that could, flash.
How much eligibility does Tyler have left?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
And he's already graduated?
Oh, no, Devin Turner's graduated. Yeah, yeah.
I guess one more. How important is it to get a guy like Kendrick Simpkins back, who has plenty of experience? He got that extra year. How important is he to that group? Really
big. I think a lot of the leadership within the group kind of comes from the two Devins and Kendrick, and so I think the role that he plays. I think he made his mark, right? Being a blitzer, being an active guy around the box. And the one area in his game where he's probably improved the most is in coverage. I think getting him back gives us another voice in the secondary, gives us another leadership type guy, gives us an older guy that's been through battles, that's been through wars, and, can really be a mainstay for us. So.
Devin, one of the old guys in the room now. What does that feel like, and just what do you see from this group overall?
It feels good. Actually, it's kind of crazy. Time went by fast, And from this group, I love this group. We're having a lot of fun out here. Some that we haven't been doing as well in the past, but we're out here finding out having a lot of fun, and I'm good to see what the future is going to be like.
What sort of energy have all the new guys brought to the group? Have they remotivated all of you?
Most definitely. All the new guys, they came in with a lot of intent, a lot of focus, which carries over to the field, which allows them to play more fast and allows them to play more green.
What are you trying to build on from last year? Obviously broke out with quite a few interceptions, but what are you trying to build on this year?
Just trying to just be 1% better. Like I said, I had a few interceptions, but I'm trying to. My goal is to have even more than I had last year. Just trying to have a better year as my last year here as a Baylor Bear.
How can the coverage group as a whole kind of boost from what happened last year?
Just staying focused. Just all distractions, the outside noises. Don't let that get to us. Just focus on our job, what we got to do each and every down, and we'll be fine.
I mean, you say you hear kind of talk about last year and how it went. Do you use that as motivation, or do you put it behind you? How do you process that information?
I most definitely use it as motivations. Like I said, we hear and we see all the comments that's been made about us. So, we all use it as fuel. We use it as motivation, and we're just trying to come out here and compete and be the best we can be.
Second year with Coach Aranda being more hands-on. Has there been more tweaking, that kind of thing, or is it are you getting comfortable in it now?
Most definitely. I'm definitely getting more comfortable than I've ever been since I've been here. Coach Aranda, he allows us to play more free. He allows us to do a lot of coverages that a lot of teams don't do. So that's a good thing for us in the back end.
Who are a couple guys who've stepped up to you that you've seen so far this
I have to say both the Turners, Tyler Turner, Devin Turner. They new guys. They came in. Like I said earlier, they was one of the guys who has a lot of intent with what they do each and every day. And DJ, Simp, just all of those guys. We all got a different mindset, and like I said, I can't wait for what the fall's gonna look like.
Micah Gifford was a wide receiver last year, and now he's with all of you. How has that been? What has that process been like for you, welcoming in a wide receiver to your ranks?
At first, because we used to go against him every day. So with him joining, I was happy with adding another addition to the dark side. So it's good having him on our side. It's good helping him grow as a player. Whenever he needs, I'm here for him. So it's good just having him around.
Is he coming along?
Yeah, most definitely, he is. He's getting the hang of things.
How have the new people meshed with all of you, and what are your expectations for the group this year?
We meshed good. I feel like I was the same way last year, so I kind of helped those guys come in. But just our room is great character guys, great people here in Baylor in general. So I think it was an easy transition.
I don't remember if you had to get a waiver or something, or just coming back. What was that decision, just to come back for another year? That kind of thing?
It was a long process. It was a hurtful process, of course, going down, getting hurt. I did have to get a waiver or whatever to come back another year. But like I said, it was a long process, but I'm just blessed and happy that I could come back another year.
So did they count that as a redshirt year then?
Yes.
Injury redshirt year?
Yes, sir.
How are you trying to build your game, and you back to 100% right now?
Yes, I'm back to 100%, and I'm just building my game. Whatever I think I need to work on, whatever I didn't do well, like practice a day, that's what I'm just working on constantly.
I mean, with this extra year for you, have your goals changed? Like, have you set any personal goals for yourself this year?
My goals ain't changed. They're the same. Probably made more goals since, I kind of had a setback with the injury. So if anything, it's plenty more goals. But, yeah, it's the same goals plus more.
How tough was that not to be out there, in a stretch when the defense or when the team was playing really well, winning those last 6 games?
It was very tough. You know, a lot of people don't know, but, you know, I kind of had to go to some mentor and kind of like therapy things because that was just the first real injury and just not being with the team. And maybe it was not knowing if I could get the year back. So it was really tough on me and still trying to be there for my guys. So it was very hard. But thanks to Baylor, coaches, my teammates, they made it easier with me just bringing me in and the people that helped me.
Are you flexible enough where you could play like any of the positions? Like, because I know star kind of fits in that area as well. Can you play any of them, or?
Yes, sir. I'm flexible enough to play strong safety, free safety, star. I did at my past school, but here I've been more star. But yes, sir.
I guess what's the how does it feel to be here? What's the transition been like? How's the process been kind of getting in with this group?
Yeah, it's been smooth. I mean, Coach Powledge and the guys here, they've made it really, really easy, really simple. I was committed here in high school, so I know some of the people around the building and the facilities. So, it's been just like home, honestly.
Did you already have a relationship with Coach Powell from before, or? Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, he's been recruiting me since my sophomore year in high school, and so, we've been had a relationship somewhat. Him and my mom too. He's been like a kind of a mentor in a way for a while now, and so it's just been really easy, coming and getting coached by him.
What are some of your personal goals for this season, first year at Baylor?
I mean, honestly, I'm trying not to have any personal goals. I'm trying not to put too many expectations on the season, kind of just be a team guy. And, when the team success is rolling, individual success comes with that. So,
I guess what do you want to bring to this group, a group that certainly had its ups and downs last season? What do you bring to this group?
Yeah, I think, just trying to bring some maturity, as far as knowing the game and, having run kind of a similar playbook at Oregon, kind of bringing my insight and what I've learned over there and bringing it over here, to kind of improve the group in any way I can. Just, be kind of a, not older guy, but kind of a leader in a way as much as I can be, and just fit in where I get in.
Is Devyn Bobby kind of the leader in that room? Or?
Yeah.
I mean, because he's one of the older, or maybe the older guy.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. D-Bob, he's a great dude, man. He knows the playbook. Very good player, very knowledgeable, leader. He's been here, so he knows the ins and outs and everything that comes with it. So he's been a great leader so far.
I guess, how has it been transitioning here and just kind of being part of the group? What's that been like for you?
It's been a real fun transition. I really enjoy the group, enjoy my coaches. It's really fun dynamic. It's really it's not too much seriousness, but we're loud. We're joking around, but we still get our work done. We still do what we need to do, but I like what we have going on. I like the dynamic in the room. I like Baylor as a whole, so I'm enjoying this transition.
I guess what do you bring to this group, and what do you hope to add to this group?
Well, I would say some experience. I've been playing 4 years, so some experience. Some of the things I see, maybe to pick up things a little bit faster than others. So I would say that's the biggest thing, in my tackling and just making plays.
There are a lot of older guys in the room. How beneficial is that to you guys, and can you elevate your game from that?
It's very beneficial. So, coming in, I didn't really know the playbook all that well. So being able to talk to them and kind of really figure out, what I have to do, what my job is, it's really helped me play faster, really helped me, get in tune to the playbook and able to talk to others, and not just my position group, but others like the linebackers or corners.
What about Baylor attracted you, or what were you looking for when you were in the portal, I guess?
I guess one thing, it is closer to home. It's always good to be closer to home. Got to be back in Texas. But then I would say the coaching staff, the reputation Coach Aranda and Coach Powledge have, and then putting guys in the NFL at the safety position, I was like, that's a big, that's a big highlight for me. And I was like, that's big for me. That's what my dreams and aspirations are to go. So I'm like, why not put myself in those situations to be a part of a good defense and be under a good staff?
Did you have any previous relationships with any of the players or coaches before you came here?
So actually, Duke DeRay, he was like an analyst here. So he was actually previously at Northwestern. So when I was got into the portal, he was like one of the first people to hit me up and talk to me. And I totally forgot he was at Baylor. And then he hit me. I was like, yeah, right, he is at Baylor. So that's been nice to have that connection here. Then I have somebody else in the academic who was also at Northwestern as well. So had a little bit of connections here.
How much does that experience in a Big Ten school, how much does that help you coming here?
I would say it helps big time because, the game speed is completely different. Like, it's just going from here to there, understanding the playbook, understanding what everybody's job is, and, understanding what plays might come in certain situations. Like, that's a big help. Makes you play a whole lot faster than others.
are you at one position more than another, or where do they have you right now?
Right now, I'm mostly at our free safety spot into the boundary. So,
How much do players, coaches talk about last year? Someone who wasn't here and didn't experience how that went. How much do they talk about that?
we talk about it more as a way to get better and build off of that year. So we don't talk about it as much as people think we do, but we're just mostly using it as an example for things we can do better or things that we did good from last year to build and to carry it into next year or this year, really.
What's that been like working with Coach Powell?
Oh, man, it's been amazing, man. He knows a lot about the game. He knows a lot about the position and breaks. He's really helped me out with some of my technique things I need to fix, and he's really made the transition easy from learning plays and knowing what plays are coming. So.
From the safety side, what have you seen from the wide receivers? Have any of those guys really stood out to you?
I mean, these guys are fast. Tell you one thing, these guys are fast. Ashton, I know he was a transfer, not a transfer, but yeah, he was transfer. Cole Wilson, transfer too. Like those guys are some great players. And then J Cam, he's big body, can really catch the ball. So like we got a nice little receiving core that I like here. That's pushing us. Like iron sharpen iron. That's what we have going on every practice.